everybody, it's Winback, and today in Heroes of the Storm we're taking another look at Cassia because she just got buffed after getting reworked, and it is all about figuring out what actually works on this character. So, the team comps today are going to be Zeratul, Tyrande, Cho'Gall, Cassia versus Imperius, Ana, Butcher, Muradin, and Li Ming. So the enemy team has an actual team comp. We have whatever the fuck we're working with. Tyrande also got a rework. Not a rework. Got a couple buffs and changes this patch, so I'm kind of curious to see if she's as good as I hope she is. But our build on Cassia today is going to focus around her auto attacks, and we'll talk about that and the talents here in just a moment. Everything is going to be identical to the last video as far as abilities go, though, so you've still got your Lightning Fury, you've still got your Fend, you've still got your Blinding Light, and your Avoidance. Everything that has been changed about Cassia, though, was geared up towards her, oh my god, he's going to live, was geared towards removing the clunk from her abilities, namely her Avoidance, her trait. So her build up to that 30 armor is, I believe it's the same, but the ability to keep it while you are mounted or generate it while you're mounted is something that you can do now, and it is going to degenerate a lot slower than it used to. I think it used to just fall off immediately, and now it's actually got some speed, or I guess slowness to it. I can't remember the specific numbers. I don't have the patch in front of me, but the amount of time that it takes to mount up from 30 armor to get moving is, you'll still have at least like 10 to 15 armor by the time that you are mounted and you get to start moving to reinvigorate the Avoidance. So it's very good. It's very, very, very easy to keep up, and with the amount of time in between auto attacks, you're not losing any armor now. It's not that clunky. They did buff auto attack speed for Cassia, so like 1.11 from just flat 1, which is also fantastic, because with the auto build, you are going to be taking charge strikes at level 1, which is going to further increase your auto attack speed, and it's going to make you deal splash damage to heroes every third auto attack, which is fucking awesome. Just pure awesome. We're not going to kill him. That's really fucking unfortunate. Anyway, to get into the build with you, we're going to just kind of knock it out all right at the beginning here, so we can keep focused on this game. Level 1 charge strikes is going to increase your attack speed 20%, and every third basic attack is going to deal 20% more damage and splash to heroes. This does work if you are attacking a minion. I don't know if structures count, because they didn't with the previous charge strikes, and I'm not sure. I haven't really tested it. I don't know if we'll find out in this game or not, because I don't remember doing it off of the building at all. But anyway, level 4 is Ring of the Leech. You're going to get 15% lifesteal off of all your auto attacks. Just baseline, really good stuff. And if you hit somebody who is blinded with your Lightning Fury or your Fend, you're going to get 15% heals from that as well. So that heal has a condition, they have to be blinded, but your auto attacks themselves just heal you for 15% period. And considering that you've got that 20% attack speed and that 20% attack damage every third auto with the bounce, you can see how much lifesteal you're actually going to be getting back. It's pretty fucking nuts. Actually, if we look at self-healing, oh, it doesn't. There it is, self-healing. It's only 400 at the moment, but we did just get the talent, so. Oh my god, please tell me they don't live. They do live. Okay, Muradin died, thank god. Thank god. At least one person, right? We're all sub 20% health, though, so I'm sure this is going to work out great with the Li Ming just hanging around, right? Butcher goes down. I'm still trying to poke people. I'm still trying to fight on the point. It's just kind of hard to herd my team downward here. But anyway, back to the build. The level 7 that we're going to pick up this go-round is Grounding Rod, and that is just because of the synergy with our level 16 talent. But Grounding Rod is going to make your Q and your E both slow by 20%. In doing that, for 2 seconds, your... I don't know if it stacks. I'm not sure if it stacks, because you can't see the percentage of slow on a person, and I imagine they don't. I don't think slows stack, period, in this game. I don't know. I might have to actually go to try mode and find out. I'm thinking if you hit someone with your Q and then you hit someone with your fend, maybe they... Damn. Going deep for that charge, huh? And Cho'Gall was just not having any of it. But my thought is, if you hit someone with your Q and then you hit someone with their E, does it then become a 40% slow, or is it just flat percentage of slow? I don't know. Oh, that hurts my brain thinking about, so let's concentrate more on the build. The level 10 talent that we're going to pick up for this map specifically, for their comp specifically, just generally I feel like more useful is going to be the Ball Lightning. With the amount of melee on their team, with the Muradin, with the Imperious, with the Butcher, all those people bouncing that ball back and forth forever is going to give us so much damage. It's just, there's no reason to pick Valkyrie other than for grabbing Ana, and everybody on their team is going to be all up in our face anyway, so there's not a good reason to pick Valkyrie into this comp. Yeah, because Cho'Gall is going to be running forward anyway. Zeratul should already be able to get to Ana all by himself. Me and Tyrande just kind of pick up pieces, do the damage, do the healing. That's my train of thought for picking ults. But anyway, 13, we are going to get ourselves a new talent called Gloves of Alacrity. Holy shit, words are hard. Gloves of Alacrity is going to passively increase our auto attack range by 1, and then while we are fully charged up on our avoidance, which is super easy to do, oh yes, you know what, that's some happy ass lifesteal right there, and some healing from Tyrande. Actual fucking perfection. Just really fantastic stuff. Really, really, really good. Love it. Love that lifesteal. The talent, though, Gloves of Alacrity, there you go. We're going to gain 2 attack range, essentially, because it's so hard to lose avoidance now. As long as you're stutter stepping and playing Cassia correctly, you are going to have it up so often that attack range is just stupid. Especially with the ability to bounce autos and just hit people with so much damage and so much speed with the character. It's fucking insane. And you'll see, once we get to that talent tier, we'll have a big blue circle, or I guess since we're red team, we'll have a big red circle around us showing you how far we can attack. So it's not small. It is definitely not small. And I am going to get myself killed because my alt button did not work. Just so you know why. Oh, it's not showing the server. This is on Central, by the way. I don't reside near Central, so I get like 60 to 80 ping in these games. Does it actually show that? No, too late since it's a replay. Fucking stupid. I hate Central. Just gonna say it now. Just absolutely fucking hate it. I'm sure everybody feels the same way about West when they're used to Central, but why does the United States have to be so fucking large? Anywho, the 13 talent, obviously, we've beaten that to death. The 16 talent, though, I mentioned earlier, is going to be martial law, and I know it is far and away the most boring, on paper, of the 16 talents. Just hugely fucking boring as a talent, but it's executioner, it's percentage health damage, and with the amount of auto attack, speed, and range that Cassia has, she is going to be able to just absolutely shred health bars. Goodbye. Jumping in the middle of the air and dying. So the physics take over. I love it. I absolutely fucking love it. But anyway, martial law gives you 1% of max health for your target per auto attack. Nice. And the additional damage that you're going to get is going to go up to 3% for stunned, rooted, or slowed targets, which is now something that we can do on our own with our grounding rod at level 7. Yeah. And using our own abilities, right? So it doesn't work on blinded targets. It's just stunned, rooted, or slowed. It doesn't work on silenced targets either. No. So it's only like the big CCs, like the common CCs. But it is a substantial damage increase, especially against targets like Imperius, Muradin, Butcher. People with big health pools, whenever they get slowed by our abilities, they're just going to hurt so much harder from our auto attacks. And Imperius and Li Ming are going to kill each other by standing next to one another until the very end. It's absolutely fucking perfect. And I love Ball Lightning so much. Just so absolutely fucking much. Oh. At 20, obviously, the ult upgrade didn't change. Infinite Lightning and the cooldown reduction that you get from it is so stupid good when you pick the ult. There's really just no reason to do anything else. Especially if you can get a whole lot of bounces out of it. On a map like this, fighting over that point, it's not going to be super difficult. Had Cho'Gall gone the upheaval for his ult rather than hammer, we would have an even bigger wombo, because all those people would just be grouped up and yoinked in. It's so fucking good, right? But one can dream. There's only so much that we can theory craft. Right now we are top in the damage charts by just a little bit over Gall. He has been punched in, and now it is up to us to auto attack the people on his face. Enemy team putting a lot of effort onto the robot, but they don't know how much damage that we deal. Cho'Gall also going in, ripping it hard. We're going to launch the Ball Lightning. It's going to bounce off of Ana and kill Li Ming that got away. I think my death was completely worth 2 kills. Enemy team Butcher does get his quest completed, so maybe that wasn't the greatest thing in the universe, but just to see Ana kill Li Ming, I mean, I feel like it was worth it. I do. I feel it deep down in my soul. Ugh. And a robot did kind of like run away as soon as the building went down, which is, you know, like, look at your team fighting and then maybe make a better decision. Ana drops the turret. Imperius is going to pick it up and put it down and then immediately die himself, so that's a little bit unfortunate for the enemy team. The other really cool thing about Cassia is that she's very capable of doing camps with this build. The angle is important for these like three merc camps. So like pumpkins, these siege minions, the Cassa camp for the Diablo maps. Those ones you want to aim fend a little bit better so you can hit all 3 of them at the same time. But same goes with the night camps. You just want to bunch them up and fend them as they're all blinded. But she just does enough damage and she has enough sustain in doing them that she can do them with relative ease. It's obviously not the fastest thing in the world, like compared to a Sonya or a Greymane, but I would definitely say she's got better camp clear than, I don't know, maybe 60% of the roster. It's not bad. It's definitely not bad. This one in particular is giving me some trouble because it's just so large. But can we, I clicked it. It started to pick up and then it didn't. I got the sound cue and everything and it just sat there. Not in love with that. Enemy team looking at us trying to take their camp, not super into it. Muradin jumping in, trying to be the best tank that he can be and just getting ultra slapped by the Hammer of Twilight. Oh, Zeratul blinking directly out of the Lambent Slaughter, giving the enemy team a little spray for their troubles. And we are going to bounce that Ball Lightning all over them. Zeratul picking up the kill on the Muradin because he just can't leap far enough. And now our Cho'Gall, our Tyrande, and myself on the Cassia are going to shove this top lane so hard The enemy team feels it. We're going to leave that thought where it is. I'm just not going to continue down that path. I'm sure plenty of people can make up their own minds about what I was going to say. The good news, though, is that with 2 people dead on the enemy team, we do have kind of free reign to poke this building as hard as possible. We've got more minions coming in. It's down to about 55% of its health, and it has fallen fast. Now that they're all back, though, we do have to kind of not feed, because that is a thing that people do. I'm just gonna level with you right now. People see a half-health building and they're like, we gotta die for it. Cho'Gall getting blasted backwards. Zeratul doesn't have a whole lot of health either. We're gonna put down the health pack to give Big Boy some health. Zeratul gonna stand in it as well, getting some healing from the Tyrande while Cho'Gall continues to go in. I don't think he knew what he was doing there. Absolute explosion from the enemy team on a character whose health bar is supposed to be so big that that shouldn't happen. But who cares? Because all our DPS is still alive, and we've got busted Cassia plus Zeratul plus Tyrande, and there's nothing that they can do because they blew all their cooldowns on our big boy. Really, really. What are you doing? Oh, going for the Zeratul instead of the Cassia, says Imperious. Gonna get haymakered in. Zeratul should be just doing damage because he's dead no matter what the fuck he does. Me and Tyrande can clean this up super easy, though. I am not taking any damage from these 2 frontline fuckers, and they are just going to let me run them over. As you can see, big red circle around us. That's our auto attack range right now. It's fucking hefty. Really, really big stuff. Now we just got to go pick up the objective here because it's so free and open, and we're 20 and the enemy team is 17. I just don't see any reason not to stand here on the point other than keeping my trade alive. As you can see, if we're not moving, we don't have armor. I don't want to get jumped on by somebody randomly coming out of the shadows to contest the point, so we're just going to keep clicking back and forth. Woo! Man, it feels good. Man, it feels good. Get that cardio in. Up, down, up, down. It turns out treadmills do not continue to proc your avoidance upward because you are... Technically, your character is standing still, even though she is moving. It doesn't count for keeping the armor up, which is a little bit sad. It's like, I wish it would. I wish it would. Might make some interesting treadmill plays for Cassia. Just standing still, but moving at the same time and getting like, okay, that's enough of that. Seeing as how I'm not getting in this robot at all. I refuse, as the team's DPS quite a bit higher than our Cho'Gall. Literally 10,000 higher. So Cho'Gall and Zeratul can get in it. Zeratul obviously has the least impact on the broader team fight because he's gone full assassin. And Cho'Gall gets to use both of those players in the robot. So you basically have 3 players in the robot at once. Gall gets to use all of his abilities. Cho gets to use gunner abilities. They have an additional health bar once they pop out of that. It's like, we've got a robot, and then we're a robot once it's done. But Butcher and Muradin think that they're going to come back here and fight against Tyrande and I don't think that they understand how that does not work for them. Truly just does not. Muradin is going to try to fight me after I get my full Ball Lightning cooldown back, and Tyrande is just going to give the Butcher the bush slap of his life. And here we are. It's like the enemy team has no idea who they're playing against. I really like Tyrande, though. Like, this whole game, this Tyrande player has just been kind of quietly doing everything right. Stuns, obviously, I mean, those are harder to land without the big CC from a tank, but her heals have been really, really good. She's been keeping people alive as best she can. Obviously, you can't keep a Cho'Gall alive who's going to eat the entire enemy team's combo in 1 second, but she's really, just really fucking nailed it otherwise. It's really, 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 really solid healing. I think, let's see. Yeah, only 5,000 off from the Ana, but never died. Also did considerably more damage. Wow, it did more damage than Ming. But Ming did die a shitload. That's really good. That's really good. I want to try New Tyrande. I think that'd be a lot of fun. I'm not generally a healer player, but I think that character got some decent buffs. Back to Cassia, though, since she is the focus of the video. We've got Charge Strikes at 1, Ring of the Leech at 4, 7 is Grounding Rod, Ball Lightning at 10, Gloves of Alacrity at 13, Martial Law at 16, and Infinite Lightning. This is the auto build. At level 13, this talent is going to be 100% required if you plan on playing auto attack, because if you're not playing to hit from maximum range with your autos, why are you building autos? You could just build Q instead and do that kind of damage from, you know, different angles. And you can pick up War Matron, which is still a beautiful talent, and I wish it worked with this build. I really do, because it's fucking cool. But that's going to be it for the newest Cassia build. I'm sure her other builds are good as well, too, because they did get buffs. They buffed the damage on her Lightning Fury, and they buffed the amount of damage that you get from her Lightning Fury quest at 1. So, I am probably going to give that a shot, too. I don't know if we'll do another video about it, but I think it is also going to be very strong, because that felt like a very good build prior to all of this. So, all-around buffs to Cassia's survivability, her damage, and basically everything that she is as a carry, and it just really, really, really good stuff for Cassia this patch. So give her a shot. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Feel free to like, subscribe, do whatever YouTube makes you feel like doing that day, and I will be back next week with some fancy new shit to show you with other characters. I'm sure it's going to be just as exciting, truly. Yeah. All right, peace out.